UFC Perth full card predictions. Let's get into it. First fight, starting with the main event, Carlos Ulberg taking on Dominic Reyes. Carlos Ulberg is on an 8-fight win streak, and in those 8 fights, he has 4 KOs and 1 submission. Reyes is on a 3-fight win streak, guys. He's really turned his career back around, but I really haven't been impressed with the guys he's beat. He's beaten Dustin Jacoby, who's really honestly not a championship level fighter, Anthony Smith, who was on his way out, and then Krylov after he missed almost 2.5 years with that terrible shoulder injury. But either way, it is still 3 good UFC wins. Ulberg, he's just been knocked out once time in his career, extremely durable. We know Reyes can be chinny at times, but honestly, he just looks better. I think on this 3-fight win streak, he's gained his confidence back. I think he lost a lot of confidence and was obsessed over that John Jones loss. Reyes does get hit less, though. It's strange because when you think of Dominic Reyes, you think there's multiple guys that have highlights of knocking him out. Ulberg lands a lot more. I think this is going to stay on the feet. Both don't really mix it up. They're both usually tend to strike. And when you don't want to strike with Ulberg, man. City Kickboxing, he's training with some of the best strikers in the world for MMA. I like Ulberg in this one. The odds show it. It's in Australia, where he's from. I like Ulberg in this one by KO. I think Ulberg's going to get a nasty KO, and then I think he's up next for the title. I really do. Give me Carlos Ulberg by KO. Next fight, Jenkins taking on Tavares. Tavares is 2-2 in UFC, but he's also 1-1 on the Dana White Contender Series, so don't really know if that counts as UFC or not, so we'll say 2-2 though. And honestly, that being said, I'm not 100% sure Tavares is UFC level. His only actual UFC win was a rematch from the Dana White Contender Series. He's lost twice. One of them was on the Dana White Contender Series. He's got that win back. He's extremely durable. I know Jenkins is UFC level. I don't think he's going to ever be world champion or anything crazy like that, but I just am more confident in Jenkins, and the odds reflect that. He's minus 300. He's minus 300 for a reason. I think Jenkins does have more ways to win this fight from what we have seen from him and Tavares. I like Jenkins in this one. I like Jenkins by decision. Next up, Jimmy Crute taking on Arslan. Guys, I always say when the UFC leaves America, they stack the card with that home country's fighters. Obviously, it makes sense. It's great for marketing. And a place like Australia has great fighters, but they tend to give favorable matchups. And this is the case in this one. Jimmy Crute, he hasn't had the most successful UFC career, but he is UFC level. And I don't even know how Ivan got into the UFC. He's 0-2 in the UFC. He was losing on the regional scene. Crute obviously has more ways to win. He mixes it up pretty well. This one's pretty easy for me, guys. Give me Jimmy Crute by KO or submission, either one. Minus 185. I think he's a great parlay piece. The odds kind of scare me. I think he should be minus more like 250. But I'm going to say Jimmy Crute by finish in this one. I just don't see how that doesn't happen. Next up, my guy Jake Matthews taking on Neil Magny. If you've been following me, you know I am pretty high on Jake Matthews. 31 versus 38 years old. Neil Magny is on his way out. Another example of favorable matchups. But in my opinion, guys, Jake Matthews at minus 500 is crazy. That's insane. I think he wins this fight. I wouldn't really mess with a sprinkle on Magny, but I'm not willing to pay minus 500. I think Magny has a chance to win. I don't think it's enough of a chance for a sprinkle, but I do think that it's very possible that he can win this fight. And I think that Jake Matthews minus 500 is complete nonsense, if I'm being completely honest. Jake Matthews probably will end up getting a finish in this fight. Like I said, he's in the middle of his prime at 31 years old, and Neil Magny is on his way out at 38. Neil Magny used to be extremely durable, but in recent years, with the old age, he's been getting finished a lot more, and that's common with the old age. Not the best as of recently. He's been really only getting finished by top guys, though, but I think Jake Matthews can honestly be a top guy. Give me Jake Matthews in this one, most likely by KO, but I'm going to play it safe and just go by finish, either KO or submission. Next up, Tom Nolan taking on Campbell. Campbell has more ways to win this fight. Now, Nolan is extremely good at what he does, and that is the striking, great takedown defense. But Campbell can get this fight to the mat. He has a path to victory in this fight. I can see Tom Nolan being a future top star, especially for these Aussie cards. I think Tom Nolan has what it takes to be a champion, or at least a top guy in 155 division, and that's saying a lot because it's a stacked 155 division. As for Campbell, he's been really good since joining the UFC. Tom's the taller fighter. He has only a 1-inch reach advantage, which is weird because usually when Tom Nolan fights, he is towering over these 155ers. Both extremely durable, both only been KO'd one time in their entire careers. I love this fight to go to distance just because both guys are extremely durable, but if I had to pick a winner, it would be Tom Nolan, and it would be Tom Nolan by decision. Next fight, Tafa taking on Sutherland. How either of the Tafa brothers are still in the UFC, I have no clue, but here we are. This is Sutherland's UFC debut. He is 0-2 in Bellator/PFL. Now, typically, you would hear me go on the rant of I can't take a new guy, I can't take a Bellator guy. I'm taking on a UFC fighter that I know is UFC level. But guys, you just heard me say I don't know how the Tafa brothers, either of them, are still in the UFC. Has to be just for the Australian cards, but this card is 15 fights, I believe, and that's with the other Tafa's brothers fight getting canceled. I just can't take a Tafa. They stink. They're really bad. Give me Sutherland by decision in this one. I will say this, Justin Tafa is a lot more durable than his brother, and that's weird because he's the heavier one. Give me Sutherland by decision. If you hear anyone telling you to take Tafa, block them. Next fight, Sterling taking on Bellotto. Sterling is from the gym City Kickboxing. He is dangerous on the feet. He has shown that already in UFC. And he has a 78% takedown defense. Bellotto only has 36% takedown accuracy. Sterling, he gets hit less, lands more. He's going to keep this on the feet and most likely edge out a decision win. I think he's a great parlay piece. I think Bellotto has a path to victory if he can get this to the ground, but we haven't seen Sterling. Now, he hasn't fought the best competition, obviously, but we haven't seen him get taken down like that. He's undefeated. Give me Sterling in this one. I think he keeps this on the feet and picks apart Bellotto. Give me Sterling by decision. Next fight, Luma taking on Thainara. This is going to be Thainara's third UFC fight. She is 1-0 in UFC and then 1-0 on Dana White Contender Series, so technically 2 UFC fights. I don't know how Loma is this big of a dog, plus 200. She is 7-2 in the UFC. This Thainara chick is just 2-0. Give me Loma. Loma plus 200. I don't really know much about these chicks, but it's a low-level MMA women's fight. Give me the proven UFC fighter at plus 200. Give me Loma by decision. Next fight, McAuliffe taking on Oban Elliott. If you've been following me, you know I have not been the biggest Oban Elliott fan. I told you guys to stay away from him last card. Do not play him in any parlays. He was like minus 350, 400, and he lost. Now Vegas has him as a pick'em. I think McAuliffe has looked pretty good from what we've seen so far in UFC. Now, he only has had 2 fights. Oban just has not impressed me. I think he has had a lot of hype, and I think before it was just because the odds were just terrible on him. He was always minus like over 200, and I was never willing to pay that because I never seen it. But this fight's a pick'em. He's 4-1 in the UFC. Now, one of those is Dana White Contender Series. He has more UFC experience. He was obviously not fighting the top guys, but either has McAuliffe. I don't know, man. I think both these guys mix it up pretty well. They're both really durable. I love this fight to go to distance. That's my favorite play in this one. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to go McAuliffe. I just haven't been the biggest Oban guy. I'm not going to change my opinion on him now, especially after a loss. Give me McAuliffe by decision. Next fight, Cam Roston taking on Andre Petroski. Guys, we haven't really seen a lot of Roston. This is his UFC debut. He's 1-1 on the Dana White Contender Series. He only has a 28% takedown defense. Everything about him is just a terrible matchup for Andre Petroski, and I'm surprised by that because he's an Australian fighter and it's in Perth. So I love Andre Petroski in this fight. I think stylistically he is the fighter to win this fight with ease. Most likely, I mean, Petroski has slick jiu-jitsu, man. I can easily see it submission, but if you want to play it safe, you can go by decision. But I'm going to take the risk here. I mean, at 155, minus 155, you can easily just take him straight up to win the fight. But that being said, give me Andre Petroski by submission. Next fight, Thicknessy, I believe that's how you pronounce that, taking on Musasa. Don't really know much about these guys either. Both 0-1 in the UFC. Musasa won on Dana White Contender Series, though. From what I've seen from both these guys, and it hasn't been a lot, I think Musasa is a little bit better. I think Thicknessy can have a chance to get it on the ground, but I mean, I wasn't impressed with his grappling. And Musasa's, from what I've seen, he has pretty good takedown defense. And if this stays on the feet, I mean, Musasa's hits like a brick house. So I'm going to go Musasas in this one. I'm going to go Musasas by KO. Next fight, Malarkey taking on Bedoya. Bedoya is 0-3 in the UFC. Jamie is 5-6 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. This is most likely a loser gets cut scenario. From what I've seen, Malarkey can be chinny at times. Bedoya has never been finished. So, I mean, in terms of durability, Bedoya is obviously more durable. But, I mean, the talent just doesn't seem there for him. He's, like I said, he's 0-3 in the UFC. He could get that sense of urgency and just put on an absolute show, but I'm going to be safe here. I like Jamie Malarkey. I think he has fought way better competition than Bedoya and won. So, like I said, Bedoya is extremely durable, so let me get Jamie Malarkey. I'm going to take Malarkey by decision. Next fight, Michelle taking on Luana. This is Michelle's UFC debut. She is 3-0 in Bellator PFL. She trains with American Top Team, so she has a great gym behind her, but Luana's no slouch, and I was surprised to see her plus this much. She's on a 3-fight win streak. She has pretty good takedown defense. I can't take a UFC newcomer, especially in women's MMA, versus a proven UFC woman fighter. So I'm going to go Luana. I'm going to go Luana by decision in this one. Next up, the curtain jerker. 2 UFC fighters making their UFC debut. This is a heavyweight bout. Someone's going to get put out. I'm not a rapper. Guys, Brando taking on Elijah. Don't know dick about these guys. You want me to be completely honest? I don't know nothing about these guys, but from the stats I have seen and the competition and all that, this fight is plain and simple. USA, baby. Give me, usually I would say, oh, it's in a different country, but if guys making your UFC debut, give me the hometowner. This is heavyweights. We're not going to need no judging. Give me Elijah. Give me Elijah Ellison by KO in this one, in this heavyweight bout by 2 UFC newcomers. That does it for UFC Perth full card predictions by Tarp Sports. Thank you for tuning in. It is much appreciated, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share your degenerate uncle, alright? Now, guys, for my official plays, the stuff that I am personally putting money on, I don't do that until after weigh-in, so if you want to see what I am doing for that, join the Discord or subscribe or follow me on any of my social medias. I'll post the link tree in the description. I like to wait till after weigh-ins, right? The first battle is facing the scales. Everyone knows that. Also, I'm not a professional. I don't make a living off this stuff, so tailor fate at your own risk. This is more of a hobby for me. I like it. I have fun doing it, so we're going to keep on doing it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Subscribe, show a friend.